the area.
When winter scourged the meadow and the hill, and in the withered leafage worked his will, the waters shrank and shuddered and stood still, then built himself a magic house of glass, iris with memories of flowers and grass, wherein to sit and watch the fury pass.
What made this the big storm that it was, and I think, without a doubt, one that has caused the heaviest damage in our company's history, it's been the widespreadness of it. It just encompassed such a huge area.
Summers Power Company's emergency service. Okay, and what is your address, Mrs. Kerr?
Right, it's the average.
Okay, do you see any visible lines down in the area? Could you tell me whether your neighbors are without power?
It started early in the very southern part of our system, in the Jackson Division, which is the southernmost division. But the hardest struck areas turned out to be the area north of the lower tier of divisions, our lower tier of divisions being Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Jackson, and it spread from that point north up into approximately a line from Bay City horizontally across to the west side of the state.
Put a hole through the roof, and I was standing right in the doorway when it happened, so needless to say, I was a little scared. And then a branch went through my car window, went through the truck, knocked my chimney off.
I was born and raised 2 miles east of here, and I'm 56 years of age, and it's the first time this has ever happened. We've had some awful good friends and neighbors. Brought us in food, drinking water, and we had some beautiful trees here that sure don't look like now.
Normally in storm situations, we do not have too much tree clearing required. But in this particular storm, the tree trimming operation became as important as the line operation because there was so much tree damage, so many limbs on the line, so many limbs conflicting with the line so that they had to be cleared before the lines could be restored, that they were absolutely essential.
Well, the civil defense from Montcalm County notified the governor's office, and then in turn the governor notified the Armory that we were authorized to take out people. They are working with the local crews here, clearing streets. We also have a water trailer bringing water in for the hospital. We have an emergency vehicle working with the Red Cross.
We're just burning brush only, just taking the brush. We're leaving all the stuff that people can pick up and burn for fireplace wood on the edge of the street. Anybody that wants the wood for fireplace can pick it up and take it.
There are some places where the poles and cross arms have been totally obliterated. There just aren't any. They're gone. We've got one 46 kV line that we've got 14 poles down, and these are 65 to 70 foot poles.
By Tuesday morning, emergency conditions existed in 10 of the company's 12 electric divisions.
All right, he is locked out. All right, get that regulator non-auto and get her closed up and ready to energize from Reichert there, and we'll give her a test. Can you get any other switches open on the line that you know of? Iced up all the way up. Okay, well, let's put a test on her from Reichert and see if that fault cleared itself. All right, we'll wait to hear from you.
The Electric Transmission and Distribution Storm Center was busy coordinating the movement of crews from one division to another.
We got a lot of trouble over in the fringe area, and they're talking about three neighborhoods.
Let's see, there's three of them over right here. 146, 147, 148. Further down the line down here.
Jim, would you take your crew over to Myers Lake and 12 Mile Road? We have a report of 9 spans of primary down, 2 poles down also, and there's a line fuse at 12 Mile Road and 131, a 65 amp east going. Check that out, please.
Check the map there. I was thinking that this area...
He'll get a hold of Cecil Allen and I'll get back with you.
It looks like this whole line is down.
Yep.
This intersection east was part of the problem.
See a light flashing.
Bob, Saturday, your message is church switcher by land phone, over.
I patrolled this morning and went north and west, south, and I went east, and it didn't make any difference which way we went. We had lines down. We're going to try to pick up the easiest spurs first. That one there, I checked south of town. I guess they estimate they got 75 spans down just on that one spur.
Now 10951, come in, Don.
We were aware enough of the damage that was being done to realize that we might not be able to take care of all the problems with our own people. We started contacting electrical contractors who normally do work for us. Also, at the same time we were doing that, we were sending out inquiries to electric utilities in surrounding states with whom we have mutual assistance pacts.
A total of 245 more utility company personnel are en route to the Consumers Power Service area and will arrive later today and tonight. They will bring the number of outside personnel assisting company personnel to more than 900. The 245 men are being furnished by Dayton Power and Light, Indianapolis P&L, Ohio Edison, Toledo Edison, and Cleveland Electric Illuminating Company.
We have a total of 1,000 men that have been called in to assist us in this operation. They are organized as crews. The crews vary from 2-man crews, 3-man crews, 4, 5, and 6-man crews. Actually, the larger crews that are assembled to do the work actually have more individual pieces of transportation equipment, so they have the flexibility of handling the big job that requires the full complement of the crew to work, or to split up into smaller sections to do smaller parts of the job.
With improvement in the weather, aerial surveys of damage caused by the ice storm could be made. 2 helicopters and fixed-wing Consumers Power aircraft were utilized for patrol. All of the company's divisions were affected. Power Control reported transmission line failures to the storm center. The Electric Construction Department was asked to assist and set up a communication center adjacent to the T&D Storm Center to coordinate the repair of all transmission lines. During the next 2 weeks, the Construction Department coordinated a 145-man contracting force making repairs, and a team of engineers specifying requirements and materials needed.
We've had planes around the system picking up material from the airports and flying them right into our system. And we've had a salesman I know of that has his own plane, and he took it upon himself to take his own plane to fly to the factory, pick up material, and deliver it into Jackson. So that
we've set up 2 people that do nothing but log the volume of requests that we have for material in the system and the material that we have arriving. And within minutes after it's arrived, it's put on a truck and shipped back out to clear whatever the demand is. We also have another individual that does nothing but sit on the telephone and take the requests from the divisions and track that all the way through this procurement process to assure that whatever the needs are out in the division are entirely met. And what the purchasing department is doing is going to the vendor and finding the amounts that we can get from them and getting it shipped into here, and finding new vendors and other sources of material all over the United States that we can get in here in a matter of hours. We have trucks arriving here by the fleet.
Okay, it's a second exit there. We go north, we go to the second exit. We go eastbound on Parnell Road. We'll see a big building, TN4. Really appreciate that. Going to be on a site and listening.
Purchasing tells me that they've made arrangements with several vendors where they have gone into production to just produce material for Consumers Power Company. And as fast as it comes off the line, it's literally spun on the back of a truck and brought in.
Yes, I had a tally. This was through noon on Saturday, and up to then, I had placed on order better than $500,000 worth of cable. In one particular service drop cable, our normal annual usage, what we predicted for 76, was in the neighborhood of 2,800,000 feet. For this emergency alone, we ordered and had shipped in 2,600,000 feet. One particular supplier on cable just pulled all production out that he had scheduled for the plant and ran strictly Consumers Power Company for 24 straight hours.
The important part of this whole thing is to keep the crews supplied with material so that we can get the lights back on.
Normally it's quite easy. As a storm progresses, however, you find that you have conditions such as muddy areas you can't get into, or iced wires that you put them up and they fall right back down. The first couple days of this was a matter of hardly recognizing a step forward, yet there was an awful lot of work done. It's a very frustrating task because there's not much headway made.
But it definitely is very hazardous out there. Trying to walk on 2-inch thick ice and the ultimate danger of accidental electrocution and shock. It's always there. You've got men in here that are taking their lives in their hands. The men that work for Consumers Power Company are required to wear rubber gloves and rubber sleeves that come right up to there.
Tuesday night, we had the crews working. This is after dark, and the ice was still forming. Trees were coming down around the crews, and we were trying to fix the lines, and they'd put 2-3 spans up, and right behind them, maybe a tree come down and take a whole block.
We're done out of this little job you gave me here last. You call the stock room, put up the material for me. Oh, say 8-10 arms, pins, insulators, braces, about 1,000 feet of wire. We'll get that in the morning. The boys are dog tired. They've been working about 20 hours. They like to get a little rest. I think I'll bring them in, have something to eat.
Customers have been without service for days, and the minimum number of complaints is remarkable.
Thursday night when I went home, I was planning on taking the family to a motel. So when I got home and found the power was back on, I was pretty happy about it.
Well, I feel that Consumers Power went about and got everybody's power back on very rapidly for the amount of damages that they had.
Everybody's been real nice down here, especially the customers. They're without electricity, yet they're still offering you coffee.
It was the worst ice storm in Michigan's history. Damage costs ran into tens of millions of dollars. 300,000 customers of Consumers Power were left in the dark. More than 4,000 individuals were involved in restoring service to those customers. More than 100,000 highway miles were driven. People worked day and night to get the lights back on in a massive coordinated effort covering 27,000 square miles of land, and virtually all power was restored within 10 short days. As one company employee said, "In all the years I have spent in Consumers Power, I have never seen better communications and cooperation between all departments, both in the general office and in the field, than were exhibited in this restoration."